Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. If you are not new here, welcome back. Make sure to subscribe if you aren't already. I figured I'd do something a little bit more fun, but I just want to give a little disclaimer. If you are gonna get offended about these trends, then stop watching. Because I do not mean to necessarily offend anyone, because this is just literally my own opinion. So I just want to put that disclaimer out there. So without further ado, let's just hop right in. I'm literally wearing like a onesie right now. Like, clearly this video is ironic because I'm probably wearing something right now that most people would probably never wear. Okay, I have my list here, and these are a bunch of trends too that others sent in when I asked on my Instagram, which if you are not following me over there, definitely do so. It's always linked in the description box. But I asked people what trends they were over or what trends they just hated, and I got a lot of great responses. So I've kind of mixed in some of those trends with ones that I personally did not like either, and then some other ones that were not mentioned whatsoever. So let's hop in. The first one that I'm really not that big of a fan of is all of the like crazy 90s and Y2K patterns that are coming back. There are some that I think look really cute, but there are some that just look very cheap, I guess. Like, even if you're getting it from like a luxury website, they're just like the details, the patterns, like they just look cheap in my opinion, and I think that other people rock them, but I'm just not really that big of a fan, especially because with these crazy patterns, they're just, one, not practical, and two, they're going to be around for a brief second and then they're gonna go away. So people that are just wearing them or even purchasing them, they're just gonna disappear in a few months anyway. So to me, there's just no point in it, and I don't think that they really look that great to begin with. There are some, like I said, there are some that are really cute, but there are some that just look very A, childish, and B, cheap. That's just my opinion. The next one is something that they might be comfortable, but I just can't. I cannot with them. They look so stupid. But they're the like Yeezy like slide suit. Is that what they're called? I'll have a picture of all of these things on the screen, but they're like these Yeezy slides, and now everyone is making them in dupes. They've been but they're just so ugly looking in my opinion. There's just nothing to them. Like, they might be comfortable, but it literally looks like a shoe that I'd wear like to garden with if I gardened, or like I don't even know where I'd wear them, like around the house maybe, but like people are wearing them like styled, and I cannot get behind it. It just does not. They literally look like a shoe that I would choose for like an avatar. Is that what they're called? Like when you're picking like your Bitmoji outfit, or an outfit on like Sims, or your Wii from like the 2000s. Like, they just look like a shoe that an avatar, is that what they're called, would wear. And I just not a fan. They might be comfy. Like I said, they might be comfy. That's maybe why people are purchasing them, but I'm just a little confused. All right, the next one that I have been seeing so many people post about, and I'm just generally curious to ask these people too, like that I see posting about these items, like, what is your thought process behind these purchases? What is your thought? Like, what are your thoughts? That's all I want to know. What are your genuine thoughts? Are you just doing it because it's trendy, or like, do you actually sincerely love these items? That's just another thing I'm very curious about. Like, are people just doing these things because they're trendy, or they're like, oh my god, no, totally, like, I'd love to dress like my 10-year-old self? I'm not really sure. But the next one is chunky plastic. I'm gonna say plastic. They probably aren't all plastic. Maybe they're clay or acrylic. It's acrylic plastic. I don't even really know. just the chunky rings, okay? And the reason why I cannot get behind them is one, they're just not practical in my opinion. They just aren't like, I like very dainty, elegant jewelry. That's just my style. Again, this might be your style, whatever. But it reminds me of playing dress up as a kid when I would like have, I mean, I have small hands and fingers to begin with, but like very below average for my age and size. But if I were playing dress up and my mom had like dress up jewelry, or we would play with some of her old rings that literally would just never fit the size of my hands, like that's what it reminds me of. And it also reminds me of, there are these like, you know, when you used to pay like a quarter at the grocery store or at the mall to wind out like candy, or they had like literal like these rings. I vividly remember at the mall they had one with these rings in them, and you would just pay a quarter or something like that, and they came in these like little plastic cups. If I can find a picture of them, I'll have them on the screen because they were iconic, and I definitely had them. But again, they just remind me of playing dress up and being a kid, and I just can't wrap my head around going backward like that. I don't know. I'm not a fan, but that's just me. The next one also just reminds me of my childhood because I vividly remember getting these from Claire's, and they were a lot different then, but it's like the phone beads. The phone beads are back in, and people are just using them with their iPhones, and I'm just like, there's so many questions I have for this one. I vividly remember using, like, I couldn't actually use the phone. I think I just used to pretend and play dress up with it and pretend like I was so cool and was calling my friends and had this like flip phone. But there was an area on the phone on like the bottom of it where you could loop through. I don't know what the intent of having that on the phone was, if it was for these accessories, but you could loop through like a little phone charm or bead or whatever, and I just remember having that. It wasn't on the bottom of the phone, it was on the side of the phone. But now people have these like long beads that they're hanging off their freaking iPhones. They're iPhones, and like there's no place on an iPhone where this is actually meant to be a thing. Like the phone beads have passed. Like there's a reason why there's no place on a phone for something like that. So if I'm not mistaken, they like, if they have a phone case on, they'll just loop it in like over here. And my question is, how annoying is it to have that on your phone? Like for me, I'd get so pissed off. It'd probably break. Like putting it in your pocket or something. I always put my phone in my pocket. Like how annoying would that be? Like I just don't think they're practical, and that's why I just don't understand it. I just don't understand what's the purpose of them. Maybe if it's like nice to have like to hold, like people like pop sockets because it's like something they can hold, and maybe that's a reason, but I'm just very confused and I just don't understand. They look cute, but they're just not, in my opinion, practical for multiple reasons. Okay, this one is a little hypocritical because I definitely have this, but it's the Jacquemus. Why can I still not say that? Jacquemus? I don't even know. I think that's how you say it, but I forget. But the little bags, and I'll have a picture again on the screen. The little bags, like they're just so not practical, and they're also so overdone. Everyone and their freaking brother has one of these bags now. Not actually, because I know they're just obviously not something that everyone can afford, but for the price of them and the size, they're just so not practical. And I think they're cute. They're super cute as an accessory, and trust me, I actually get a lot of use out of the pink one that I have, and it's not the smallest, it's not the biggest size, but it fits what I personally need it to. But if you are somebody that carries around a lot of things, it's just not practical whatsoever. Especially like the size that I have is borderline practical. The smaller ones, which are, there's a few sizes that are a lot smaller, there's multiple sizes that are a lot smaller than the one I have. Just what's the point in spending your money on that? Like aside from it being trendy and you just fitting in with the trends, what's the point? I can't understand. I don't know. but I don't know why we do the things that we do, but we do them anyway. So those bags, I just can't. I can't understand. But I have one myself. But again, mine is practical for me because I don't really carry around a lot and I can fit some things in it. Whereas another person, like, I don't know, I would just carry around that bag and probably have another bag on backup because there's no way I'd fit more than a credit card in those other smaller bags. Right, here is another one that I personally think is so overdone, and again, very similar situation to the Jacquemus bag, is that it's just, one, so overdone, and two, I think everyone just saw that specific people were posting about these, so then everyone was like, oh my god, I need to jump on this. It's going to be such a huge trend for the season. I need them as well. See, that's like another thing that I feel like a lot of people get sucked into, is just everyone's posting about it, so then you feel the need to purchase it as well. And even if it's not practical for you, or if you even have the means to spend on something so stupid like that. So because these things are trends, they're not going to stay around forever. So this next thing is the Gucci rubber sandals. Again, they're so overdone. Everyone I see post about them on their Instagram, and I'm just like, are they practical? Like, do you wear them enough to get your money's worth? I think they're actually only 300. Well, I say they're only actually because for Gucci, that's cheap, but obviously a 350, I think they are, like, pair of shoes is not practical for the large majority of people, especially a shoe that is not wearable all year round. It is not practical probably to even wear with everything. I've heard that they're actually comfortable, but in my opinion, just because it's Gucci doesn't mean you need to buy it because it's more within your means. And I don't know, I just can't get behind it. So that's just, again, my personal opinion. But trust me, I was so close. As soon as I saw somebody post about them for the first time this season, because I think they were around last season as well, I almost went and bought them. But I did think about how practical they are, how much wear I'd get out of them, and the price that I'd be spending, and if it was even worth it. Like, I could save that money and save it, use it towards something more practical. Like, there's so many other things you can do. Invest it, maybe. You can invest that money. God, don't even get me started. All right, next thing. The next thing, we are winding down to my very least favorite things that I will back until the day that I die. I do not understand why people are wearing Crocs again and thinking that they're cute. Again, that's just my personal opinion, but I just seriously would like to question people and ask why they think they're cute. They might be comfortable, I get that. I've definitely had a pair of Crocs before. They are comfy, but I'm curious. I don't understand. Are they cute? Like, do you think they're cute? They're like a lot more practical probably because you could wear them with like sweats and things like that, but like people are actually like styling them. And like even worse, the platform Crocs. I can't with that one. We have lost our marbles adding a platform to Crocs. I can't with that one whatsoever. If I were to ever get them, it would probably just be to like wear like I do with my Birks. I wear my Birks like out. People probably hate those too, but they're so comfy once you break them in. But I wear them like with everything, just randomly. Never like really style them, but if I'm just like running errands or whatever, I'll just throw them on because they're easy. So like I could see people doing that with Crocs, but like actually styling them, I'm at a disconnect there. I don't know. All right, number two. The number two thing that I cannot get behind, and this will lead me into number one, is low-rise skirts. I'm seeing very, very, very like skimpy low-rise skirts. Some have like the cutouts and everything. And first of all, skirts piss me off more than anything else. Like skirts, and shorts. Shorts are next to skirts, but skirts piss me off more than anything. Like short skirts, long skirts I can deal with. Short skirts, they just end up riding up, so they're not comfy for me to just walk around in, because they literally just end up my waist. Like my skirt will start down here and it will be up here by the end of the day. They just do not fit my body type right. But low-rise skirts especially, like especially the skimpy ones, first of all, low-rise, I just cannot get behind it. Second of all, the skirt aspect, skirts piss me off, like I said, so the two together, I just can't even imagine wearing one of those. They look cute on other people. That's something that, like, it looks cute on people, for sure, but I just personally cannot. And that will lead me into my number one worst trend of all, is low-rise jeans. I vividly remember people saying, like, last year, like 2 years ago, last year, that the day that low-rise jeans comes back, like, will be the death of me, because nobody wanted them back like a year ago, and now all of a sudden we see one famous person, celebrity, style them. Now everyone's running to their nearest Goodwill to get their low-rise jeans that they donated like 5 years ago. Like, I thought we left low-rise jeans in the past for good. Like, we dug a very large grave, we buried those jeans, and we poured concrete over those jeans because we were so over them. When high-rise jeans re-entered the space, I mean, sure, trends always get recycled, but when high-rise jeans re-entered the space, we felt like we were validated. Like, this was the thing that we needed all along, because they cover so much, which, come on, you can't say that low-rise jeans are comfortable when you go out to eat and you're just so bloated after eating a meal. You just, like, let it all hang out. Like, that would bother the shit out of me. I'd feel so uncomfortable. Like, the high-rise jeans just hugs everything in. Like, it just feels very comforting to me. And, like, especially with crop tops, just the proportions, like, just look so good. I just can't get on the low-rise jean trend. People style them very well. They look cute on other people. I'm not saying that they don't look cute. The low-rise baggy jeans, people wear them well, like very nice street style looks. But as for me, and just personally, I'd love to ask these people, like, do you feel like, you know, comfy? Like, does your stomach, like, not get bloated, and do you feel comfortable, like, after you eat, like, out to eat? Like, I don't even know. Like, even just sitting down, like, whether I'm eating and get bloated or not, just sitting down, I feel like low-rise jeans, like, obviously when you sit down, like, everything scrunches up, so just the feeling of those low-rise jeans, like, hitting everything, I don't know, just a very weird feeling. I'm just not into it. I don't even want to test it out, because I just am very secure with my high-rise jeans, and that's my stance on that. So I'd be interested to know what trends you want to see die. Leave them in the comments if you want. But this was such an interesting topic to bring up on Instagram, because I just see so many people trying, like, every trend under the sun, and I just question, like, are they just trying it because it's trendy and they want to be in on the trends, which is okay, like, I understand, or is it that you actually, like, really love the trend and, like, I'm so happy that the trend is back? Because all of these trends are 2000s, 90s trends, and I feel like I've definitely lived through every single one of these and had my turn with every one of these, and I'm over it. So just asking. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this little video. If you did, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe again if you aren't already, and I will talk to you in the next one.